You're listening to The Burning Truth. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dude and dudettes. I'm your host, Matt Burns, and with me, instead of my usual partner, John Bloor, I've got Mark Jensen, aka Shed, who is the founder of UKWA, and and everything, almost like the grandmaster of it all, the one who actually built it all up. But he is also one half of the UKWM owner. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Matt. How you doing?
I'm not too bad at all. Not too bad.
You must be one proud pappy tonight.
Definitely. I thought I'd just mention you as the founder of UKWA, as much as, in case anybody wants to know, is Mark is no longer in ownership of the UKWA. However, he is the founder of it. He is the one who managed to get the start of it.
The man behind the king of the kingdom. Oh, that well. Mate, you must be one proud pappy with last night. First UKWA show. I must say, mate, you carried. We passed you the torch, and you carried it well.
Definitely.
A quality show, quality card, great roster.
To be honest with you, I can't say it's all down to just me. It wasn't just down to me. It was also down, to me business partner Renee. It was also down to the locker room. It was all the helpers, yourself included, to everyone that was involved on the show. I can honestly say, it wasn't just the fact that I was proud. Believe me when I say this. As I was watching the show from start, I was watching the bits wherever I could, because I was that busy in the locker room and sorting out, making arrangements. I was almost,
But yeah, there was a few bits I think you missed last night, but we'll get to them in a minute. But yeah, it was such an atmosphere with everybody. Everybody was part of something.
Yeah, and it was all entertaining. So I can honestly say 0 hour for me is it was successful. 0 hour.
0 hour was your finest hour.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been asking me in regards to one thing about that show, the name. Everyone seems to think, oh, have we copied off a certain All In event that happened?
No, I don't think so.
A lot of people stated that, but the funny thing about it is, the actual name of it came into our heads beforehand. And would you like a bit of the history of where the name came from?
I'd love to.
A bit of the history. What everyone doesn't realise is myself. Yes, I will openly admit this on radio. I am, I've been, I'm the Funk Soul Brother, the Potteries Powerhouse, and I will admit this one. Self-confessed comic book geek.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
actually from comics. It was actually a part of a crossover storyline called 0 Hour, a part of DC Comics.
Oh, see, I'm more of a Marvel guy myself, I'm afraid.
I am actually neither. I'm actually both. I support both.
I don't know. I'm always a Marvel guy. But anyway, we're digressing, my friend.
That we are.
0 hour 0 hour, great show, great roster. Couple of incidents. Well, what can we say?
Well,
the Black Flame.
The Black
Henry
Flame?
T. Grod.
What?
Henry T. Grod.
Henry T. Grod?
The Black Flame, the Dark Apostle, the mysterious one himself.
Hang on. Did I miss him? I miss him?
Yeah, I don't think Chantel Jordan did. I think the poor girl nearly got snapped in half.
Oh. So,
basically, during the match, he appeared. He speared Chantel, give that famous evil grin of his, shook hands, and then left the building.
wow. Whoa.
But do you know what? I've been on the wrestling scene now for 6 years, and I've hardly seen this guy. I know of him, I've heard of him, but as where to get hold of him, he's one of the guys I've never managed to get to do promos with.
Yeah, he's a bit of a loner, and what surprises me is I know the results of the matches, but I didn't know he actually turned up because, like I said, some of them I actually got to see some of them, but I didn't get to see all of them. But the fact that he's come on to UK Heavyweight Turf, well, he is part of our roster, but he wasn't meant to be there.
He's kind of got the old Sting vigilante feel of him.
A little bit. But the fact is, he's disrupted a bit of a show. He disrupted Chantel's moment of glory, if I'm not mistaken. So, I wonder what management could do about that.
Well, there's ideas.
There's ideas, but I'm going to keep that one close to my chest in regards to that one. But keep an eye out because, like we've said, you could be seeing some big match announcements, especially for May 25th, Sugar Rush.
Well, yeah, one I'm looking forward to already.
Definitely. But how did I miss that? Is there anything else? Just out of curiosity, is there anything else that I may have missed?
Well, is Chris Drew still your general manager?
Excuse me?
Well, let's just say I don't think he's Luke Basham's favourite GM anymore.
Well, the last time I was involved in the main event, I was getting ready to throw out Dougie, who was interfering on Charles Kelsey's behalf, which in some cases many could have said he could have been disqualified. However, as I was considering ejecting Dougie, the referee did state, and let me just point this out in case there's any confusion, a lot of people thought the referee should not be overruling the one of the principal owners of UKWA. That is true. However, let me just state this. If I didn't think the referee could have kept it under control, I wouldn't have hired him. I know Jig and Tony have got the utmost top-notch quality, ability, and everything. They are, they were the first two picks that popped into our heads, and we got them. If I didn't feel comfortable with them, they wouldn't have been doing it. So when Jig literally stated to me, if he will behave, he'll sit down. I trusted my management to keep it under control, and if not, if I'm not mistaken, Drew was at ringside, so he would have secured the fact that if he did get involved, he would have been removed.
Oh yeah, well, Drew did interject himself. Unfortunately, he dragged Jig out of the ring as he was counting the pin for Basham.
So he dragged out one of the officials.
He put his hands on one of your officials.
Right.
I think Mr. Drew needs a P45 after last night's incidents. It seems that possibly him, Dougie, and Mr. Charles Kelsey possibly could be some form, possibly stable or collective. I don't know, but the end of last night's show, they seem to be very close and very, very friendly.
Unfortunately, as much as I would love I should have every right to fire him. However, unfortunately, there was some, when it came to contract signing, I wasn't actually in attendance for that contract signing. I believe my business partner Renee was handling that, and to be honest with you, when she mentioned it was Christopher Drew, I had no issue with it, as I thought he would be an upstanding citizen. And if I'm not mistaken, he says he is the entrepreneur and formerly known as gentleman. Correct.
Usually an all-round job. Usually it plays it straight down the line, but it seems this time. But obviously, as you know at the minute, unfortunately, the footage is already being edited as we speak. So, and once that is all complete, I can get a copy over to you, and you can see said events for yourself.
I will hopefully be wanting to see that myself. And let's just say this: unfortunately, I can't just outright fire him at this moment in time, because there is certain clause in agreements, and I will state. The one part of his name that he is very shrewd on is his entrepreneur skills.
Yes.
That gentleman is, from me finding out about this, the second I see what he's done, believe me when I state this, once I have seen it, there will be repercussions. There will be repercussions of this. They will not get off lightly in regards to it. However, for Drew, I will deal with that potentially much later. Let's see how far he goes. Let's see how far down the rabbit hole he goes with it. If he crosses that massive line, what was that?
Give him enough rope.
You can see where I'm going with it. But
I do.
If he does continue on, he may find out he has something that he may have missed on his contract signing, which I may have to remind him of at a later date.
Well, I look forward to seeing the events unfold. But overall, I do think great show.
Yes.
Very great show. Great roster, and most of all, I was pleased to see Mr. No Fear himself, Mr. Rylaw.
Yes. I had a feeling, just in case. Well, I knew Renee had some plans ahead in regards to it, which I will state. Very clever that she pointed out that he hadn't stated that AJ Hughes hadn't stated how many. If you may have noticed that.
Oh, yes.
Which she maximised. However, as just a precaution, I knew just in case if he managed to find a devious way to retain that championship, I would get somebody involved who has been hunting for that championship at Fusion Pro Wrestling, which is Mr. No Fear Ryan Lloyd. Now, no stranger to myself, and I will state, as much as I would have loved to have wrestled AJ myself, I am a professional, and at this moment in time, I will state for the record, I will not be wrestling on UKWA because I have to deal with management, and I believe I feel as though putting on a great show, I'm in the best place. And besides, I think AJ is probably more scared that I'm in management.
Well, hopefully next show, I'd love to see him and Rye Lloyd together. I've been watching Rye for years. I've always told people he's one to watch.
Definitely one to watch. Definitely. And I will just like to also state that is a potential match that could be finalised. However, we still need to literally put the crosses, dot our I's, and everything, and get everything sorted. But that is one I have got in the back of my mind of trying to book. So if anybody does want to see that, just let me know. But but moving on and digress. But one thing I will state, I am a little bit annoyed that Anarchy have managed to find a way into the show. However, and I know this is more of Renee's field, that a little bit of chaos sometimes can be good and entertaining. So I'm going to trust my business partner in this, and let's see how entertaining it can get.
Oh, yeah. You know me, always up for a bit of entertaining.
That it is. And in regards to the King of the Kingdom Championship, Kelsey,
Yeah.
we know our history together, but let me just set this record straight for you. Especially with if you have got Drew in your corner, don't worry. Let's just say management will take notice of this, and we will have you in matches that will be entertaining. And just to state, you will be defending that King of the Kingdom Championship at UKWA at most shows, and you'll be defending it at other shows as well.
Continuing the legacy.
And just to point out as well, with Anarchy as well, and mentioning AJ Hughes. Sorry about that, AJ. Bit of cross wires there, but let me just state, AJ Hughes, Anarchy. They're very, very eager, aren't they? Very eager.
Oh, yes.
I think they missed something. They were so focusing on the fact that they were ducking and diving Ryan Lloyd, if I'm not mistaken, last night.
Oh, yeah.
They must have forgotten something about this coming up Saturday. In Wales, Fusion Pro Wrestling. If I'm not mistaken, they've got a 6-man tag match.
Yeah, with a certain Mr. Funk's old brother himself.
Oh, nice that you're pointing that out. Let's just say this.
I would love to be there for it, brother, but unfortunately, duty calls.
Yeah, I believe you are actually at Shropshire Wrestling Alliance for, I believe it's Tag Buddies and the show, for Shropshire Wrestling Alliance, correct?
I am indeed. Looking forward to this one, but hopefully more information coming on that later in the week. Correct.
So please check out Shropshire Wrestling Alliance's social media. This is from myself. As much I am at Fusion Pro Wrestling myself, but either one, I recommend either one. We will be mentioning multiple companies for you a bit later on, but let me just state this: I do recommend them shows as well. Please, always check out your local wrestling, as I've always stated. But let's get down to business. Last night was a great show for 0 Hour. I'll just run through the quick results. I know normally on the Burning Truth we don't normally do quick results, but I've got to be a little bit biased on this one. It's my own.
You can get away with it.
I'll get away with it.
All right.
UKWA 0 Hour. I believe we had Nightshade versus Chantel Jordan. Chantel got the victory over Nightshade. Big Rich versus Paul Malin. However, the experience of Paul Malin managed to catch Big Rich off guard. However, Malin might have got a little bit too braggy after his match. And paid the price for it with that thunderous chokeslam. And of course, as we've already mentioned, the AJ Hughes, being successful in defending his Fusion Pro Grand Championship, and also managing to get Anarchy on the roster with an extra to sort of spoil their fun, which would be Mr. No Fear Ryan Lloyd. We've also had the Italian Championship Wrestling, Italian Tag Team Championships being successfully defended by Connors and Black against Violence and Volume and Hellbound, which
my match of the night.
Your match of the night, absolute stellar match. Amazing. That was an absolute stellar match, brilliant. can't fault it. Then we've also got Dante Durden, getting the sneaky win against Eddie Martins, and as much as I can state this, as much as with me being the owner, and I have got to state the referee is the one who's got to make the call in the matches, and unfortunately, as I stated, I was in the back. I didn't hear about it. I have heard about it, but unfortunately, that's got to go down into the record books as Dante Durden beating Eddie Martins. But how can we even that up? Make that a fair fight. More on that at a later date by checking out the UKWA social media. But last but not least, King of the Kingdom Championship match. Charles Kelsey defeating Luke Basham to become the new reigning king.
Well, exciting times.
And
Very
there was one more piece of announcement mentioned at the end. Did you pick up on that?
Oh, I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just be proudly to say, anybody who was there last night, if you've been checking out our social media for UKWA, I'd like to just point out that Sugar Dunkerton is coming to UKWA for May 25th, Sugar Rush. And in case if anybody wants to know, where have I heard that name before? Shakira Pro, Impact Wrestling. He is one of the top rising international stars.
Oh yeah, with wicked hair.
Definitely wicked hair. And if I'm not mistaken, he does actually wrestle over here as well quite a bit. Like wrestling at places as such like Wrestle Island, Pro Wrestling for You coming up soon.
Wrestle Island, I've got to say, the greatest conga I've ever seen in my life. The greatest conga ever.
Why do I get the feeling I need to put my hands on the hips, literally going challenge it?
All I can say is Sugar Dunkerton getting Hustle Malone doing the conga around Wrestle Island.
That's just genius.
That's just something I will never forget in any way, shape, or form in my life.
But anyway,
Sugar Dunkerton, man, great worker, great guy.
Definitely.
And I just hope the UKWA is ready for Sugar.
Oh, we are ready for Sugar. Definitely,
oh, yeah.
definitely.
Well, you know what I mean? It's great though you making a new roster announcement with like this, especially as well with, like I say today, my day at home editing, watching YouTube, seeing what's going on with all this AEW. Is it AEW?
AEW. All Elite Wrestling.
Oh yeah, I've seen obviously today. I've seen Jericho and Kenny Omega. Well,
yes.
We knew Omega was going to be there. That was like the worst kept secret ever.
It was almost like that. Almost sounded exactly the same as, it's weird. It's weird, isn't it? That's almost literally saying it's going to rain when it's raining outside.
Yeah. Let's face it. All Elite Wrestling is going to be everyone accepts it. Everyone part of Bullet Club is going to be part of all Elite. Well, I say all the Bullet Club. Well, maybe not the Gorillas of Destiny and Haku, but yeah, we don't talk about that.
Oh, yes, that is true.
Let's face it, Haku and the Gorillas of Destiny are like LaToya and Janet Jackson of the Jacksons, really, aren't they?
Oh!
You had the Jackson 5 and then you had Haku and the Gorillas of Destiny.
Would you behave yourselves?
Well,
be professional.
Of course. I am professional.
Well, one thing I will state, it's very interesting to see how many names you got on there. You've got like Hangman Page. You've also got Pac on there as well.
Oh, yeah. But see, the one, like I say, there's two, though, that have got me, and when I say these two names together, you're going to know exactly what I'm thinking.
Go on.
Jimmy Havoc and Joey Janela.
Huh?
You know
What?
exactly what I'm thinking. Joey Janela and Jimmy Havoc.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
All I'm going to say about that.
That is just trouble brewing.
I think the perfect quote to describe that is, "It's all good fun till somebody loses an eye."
In that match, they'll probably lose more.
Well, yeah, we know nothing. But yeah, obviously as well. Like say, there's a few. Like say, Pac was a nice surprise for me.
Yeah, it
I
was.
really did like. Yeah, Pac was a nice one. But obviously, Jimmy Havoc. But obviously, Omega and the Lucha Brothers.
Yes.
Lucha Brothers and the Bucks. What can you say? That's just a dream tag team match.
Definitely. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that a certain member of the Lucha Brothers is one of your favourite guys.
Pentagon. The man. In this business we shouldn't have favourites, but you know what I mean. He's just quality to watch. I enjoy his style.
Yeah.
Really do, mate. I really do. But yeah, see, to be honest, tag teams seem to be on the up to me at the minute. You think about it. Obviously, we've got Tag Buddies in Dawley on Saturday.
That you do.
Obviously, Lucha Brothers. Obviously, with what I've seen today, the press conference, want to be the world's number one tag team, and they've got to go through the Bucks. What can we say? Tag team heaven. Plus, as well, obviously now WWE with the women's tag.
That is true. Who do you think is going to be winning that?
Well, with all the teams in it, on paper, and this is on paper, this is not Wrestling World talking, this is proper wrestling thinking. I do think, well, on paper, it should be really Bayley and Banks.
It should be,
in my opinion. It should be, but the thing is, with WWE, they had their feud and it was building up to a thing, and then it all just fizzled out with a bit of therapy, which, though, to be honest, it can't do therapy in WWE unless it's Kane and Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Nothing can beat that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. No.
Yes. It is just comedy gold.
I really, I'd love to see Bayley and Banks do it, but I think it's going to end up that one's going to cost them the belts or something, and it's going to open up.
It'll open the doors.
Open the door, hopefully for Mania for Bayley and Banks.
Potentially, but then who out of the current roster do you have as a backup instead?
I'd probably say, Tamina and Nia Jax.
Oof.
Obviously, the two biggest, nastiest girls in there. But then, as well, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, they're a team, they're friends, they're a unit. To me, and that, to be honest, let's face it, with a tag team, you need that chemistry there. And this is obviously why obviously we know that Nia Jax and Tamina are related. They've known each other, you know what I mean? They know each other. They've already got a family chemistry.
Well, I can actually relate to that myself, being a multiple-time tag team champion.
Yeah, you need that chemistry for a tag team, and I think obviously Nia and Tamina, I think that's it. Obviously Bayley and Banks, but as well, like I said, I think that's going to go the other way. That's going to be the setup for Mania, and then obviously Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville.
Correct, and the funny thing about it is, it's not. You can put any two teams together, and it can work for so long.
Doesn't make them. Yeah.
It can work so long, but then, even though it's a makeshift thing, egos can sort of build, develop, and you don't quite get on the same page. You'll either develop into a tag team, or you could end up proper resenting.
Developing out, yeah. It's like, look at the Hardys. They've metamorphosized that many times. It's like tag teams splitting up, solo stars, and then it's like, for me, it's so annoying they come back to WWE, and then
unfortunately,
Matt Hardy got, well, obviously Matt Hardy he was at the top of his game. Obviously, with the whole broken git, that was just, for me, that was just pure genius. Just the whole delete, Brother Nero.
Definitely.
Genius.
Definitely.
That
And
was
I'm surprised you didn't have Jeff and Matt involved more with each other.
Yeah. See, I liked what they did with Bray Wyatt, but I think if they'd have had, say, Bray Wyatt even possibly managing them.
That could be a nice little twist.
Letting Jeff go way out.
Yeah.
Not too way out with our Jeff, though. We don't. Yeah.
No, we like Jeff. We like Jeff. But the thing is,
in the Elimination Chamber now as well.
Yes, that we have. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Daniel Bryan with his new championship version, or new version of his championship. Yeah. What's your current thoughts on that? On the new belt?
It's hard to say. I like it. It'll never be there like the Smoking Skull belt. It'll never have that effect to it.
I don't think it's meant to.
No, I get what they've done for the story and that with it, but see, the biggest problem with that for me isn't that, I like watching Daniel Bryan as a heel. My favourite work of his was against Lesnar. That was just, I love that. It was very like Trevor Murdoch.
Yeah.
Trevor Murdoch, that look about him, just the way he moved, taunting Lesnar. I thought it was brilliant work. Brilliant work. But the biggest problem I'm finding with this Daniel Bryan championship, the belt, I can deal with the belt. It's Eric Rowan as a hipster. That is the bit I can't get my head round. It's that, because the thing is, it's like, I like the Bludgeon Brothers. In fact, it's like Harper. I think Luke Harper is one of the best big guys at the moment. Possibly.
Definitely.
They're up there with Drew McIntyre. It's like, see Baron Corbin, but I like Baron Corbin as a big guy. But they're just wasting him at the minute at WWE. If I'm honest, my genuine opinion.
With Baron Corbin, well, normally with ourselves, we normally have a bit of a general topic of discussion. Now, in case anybody wants to probably noticed, it sounds a bit. This episode seems a bit off the cuff, a bit all over the place. That is probably because we decided with this episode, we're not even running with a script, just to let everybody know. It's off the cuff. Yeah. But let me just state this. Normally we have topics for discussion on the Burning Truth, but with this, we've felt we'd just open the platform. And the good thing about it is, that's a good point what you just brought up with Baron Corbin. Now, what makes me laugh is, Baron Corbin, when he's actually wrestling, is a absolute phenomenal worker. Brilliant.
He's for a big guy.
He moves.
My natural progression for him, and I really think this, where WWE have really dropped the ball. I know years ago, I can't remember his name, it was Daniel somebody who they brought in as the Undertaker's protege. They brought him in, this young guy, and he never did nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, don't you?
The Colossus. I'm trying to remember the full name now.
Yeah. Well, he was meant to be booked in a tag match for the Undertaker at Mania, and then that went horribly wrong, didn't it? I think that's when it was he had was it the handicap match against A-Train somebody?
Yeah, it was the Colossus of Bogaro. I believe it was Nathan Jones.
That's it. No, I'm thinking of the other one who nearly broke Kurt Angle's arm.
His
arm. I know who you mean. Yeah. When he one of the Tough Enough contestants. Yeah, but the one we're on about that Nathan.
No. Yeah, Nathan Cruz. You're on about Daniel Puter, the one that almost had Kurt Angle's arm. Now, I remember with that. Yeah, with. No, I know what you're saying. I remember that.
I think the thing is, obviously, you've got the Brothers of Destruction.
Yep.
Kane and The Undertaker both getting on.
Yeah.
But you look at Baron Corbin, before he cut his hair, you look at the size of him, the way he moved. he was a carbon copy of the Kane and the Undertaker. It would have been nice to see WWE do something like the Undertaker, sort of take him under his wing, and even have the Undertaker manage him. That would have put him so over.
Yeah, but I've got no issue with him losing his hair. Do you know what my massive issue is with him?
Is it the waistcoat?
In one.
No, not the way. Yeah.
In one. In one. He is meant to be the lone wolf. And, you know, he had a big, massive bar gimmick. Great. He's got great entrance music. He looks the part. Yeah. He looks like a badass. And he's in like a suit. Because it doesn't look right. I'm sorry, but if you're going to be wrestling, you shouldn't be wrestling in suits.
No.
You shouldn't.
No, only IRS could pull that off, and he didn't even have a jacket.
Correct.
No, suits are for contract signings.
True, exactly. Or
but
when
anyway, we're talking. The biggest thing we haven't talked about WWE tonight. What is going on with Raw and SmackDown? Really, it's to me, obviously, since they've promised this new era, it's almost like the Attitude Era, but watered down. It's almost like
It's almost a little bit, but at the same time, what is an interesting topic is a lot of people state they always remember the Attitude Era. They always remember the Attitude Era. Yeah. And this, I believe, is meant to be a topic that I'm going to be covering at a later date with John Ballore, which is, what do you remember of the Attitude Era from the years back? But that's going to be for another day. But the interesting thing about it is, right now, if you've got that vibe of the Attitude Era, and the action that has been coming out of from the WWE Learning Centre, all the top talent that's coming through, I can see another, a new era coming in, a new burst of enthusiasm.
I don't know. It's piqued my interest again with WWE. It seems it's either spot on or it's off. It's like, to me, it's like this with Lesnar as the champion. They've wasted their opportunities with Strowman and Lesnar. Too much has gone on.
They've dropped the ball with that.
They have. They've missed that opportunity. To me, the way they've built Lesnar up as this champion, the only one it's like Rollins if he faces him at WrestleMania. That, to me, yeah, it'll be a good match, but you just know Lesnar's going to go over. Obviously now that they've dropped Strowman, to me, the only legitimate bloke to take the belt off Lesnar would be Lashley.
But he can't because he's the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah. I know, to me, it's like they've almost railroaded themselves with Lesnar. Don't get me wrong, like I say, I love Lesnar and Heyman as a team. They're brilliant. Yeah. I love watching. It works so well. We all know that Lesnar can't. Well, he obviously can speak, but just on a microphone. Yeah, he can. But the thing is, it's like the air of mystery. The way he just stands there brooding with Heyman. But the thing is, Heyman is just the master.
It's Heyman,
the master on the mic. Yeah, he is just
it's
the
Heyman.
He is the Don King of wrestling.
He is the Don King on the mic.
He is. It's like people say about Piper on the mic. Piper was good, but to me, Heyman. But see, I've seen, obviously for my age, I've seen more of Heyman's work than I have of Piper's. And out of the two of them, I just think Heyman.
No, it's hard. It's hard to judge. For me, I could not judge between Piper and Heyman because, yes, they're both great people on the stick, but for their own reason.
Yeah, they've got their own styles.
With Piper, he could pretty much get you spitting venom at him and everything. He can get the anger out of you. Where with Heyman, he's more of he knows how to put butts in seats.
he's a thinking man. He's a thinking man. Is Heyman.
He's always thinking
And
of...
a great seller.
Yeah, he is.
Ka-ching.
Exactly. And the good thing about it is,
Well-
he's in his mind, he's like, how many butts can I put in this seat? And if there's more butts, does that mean more money?
Yeah.
That's
But
what
like
he's
I say,
thinking.
It's like Heyman. It's like when he finishes with Lesnar, he says he doesn't know what he's going to do. It's like he can't. He hasn't got, as he said, he hasn't got the time left in him to do another body of work as he's done with Lesnar. But it's like it's like everyone's going loop-de-loop about Ronda Rousey in WWE. It's to me, yeah, she's good. She's done well. She has done well. I cannot fault it. But the thing is, at the minute, when you've got the likes of, like, say, the way Becky Lynch and this, like, say, this Mania match, I'm more excited about that match than I am about any of the men's matches.
That has been done amazingly.
It's, yeah, from Survivor, obviously, Nia Jax, that punch, well, that was just, savage, but what it caused and what it did was absolutely brilliant.
It's, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was, I'm trying to remember the painter's name. A certain painter's name.
Was it Picasso?
No. It might be, I think it was Bob Ross, who used to always say, it's a happy little mistake.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
You know what? You know what I'm on about?
Yeah. I know who you mean.
It's a happy little mistake.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's the Becky Lynch, though, the transformation in her.
Wow.
She's always been over, but it's like, I can't work out whether they tried to turn her heel, and it's gone wrong, or this. It's like she's like a female Austin.
Yes. This is something I actually brought up with Blow recently. Yeah. Oh, actually, I believe it was Blow who brought it up with me. Actually, my mistake. Yeah. It is something that she is almost like a female Austin, and she's like stand up to trend. Or better yet, it's even more so now the fact that she slapped Stephanie on Friday, or no, on Monday last week, and then slapped Triple H.
Yeah.
Stealing
I know, that was
2 moments from both shows.
Yeah. I hate to use the pun, mate, but she's on fire at the minute.
Definitely.
You know, the thing is, and I just hope as well that they just keep that match for them two. They don't put Charlotte Flair or anybody else in. I
actually agree with you on that one.
It's like, I don't even really. It's like Charlotte. Don't get me wrong.
I like Charlotte myself.
Time,
for me, I like Charlotte. She's a great wrestler, but in my mind, I feel as though whenever Becky's going for something amazing or something iconic, why is Charlotte there?
Yeah. It's like it's almost like they're doing a Roman Reigns with her.
You beat me to it. You actually beat me to that.
It's like Alexa Bliss is the same. But I think the fact that Bliss got injured, I think that's done her a favour a bit. Because, to be honest, obviously, whether it's meant to be comedy or not, it's, to me, from what I've seen of these moments of Bliss, it's just been pure comedy. What can you say? Dean Ambrose and EC3.
Interesting.
That was genius. That certainly was. But obviously, Dean Ambrose leaving.
It's a hit, but it's something that we'll have to wait and see what happens in regards to it. And the thing is, a prediction I can see coming out of this is whoever is going to be getting his last match is probably going to be getting ready to get a bit of a push. Definitely.
Yeah, they're going over. See as well. I'd say EC3.
Rumour has been going round.
Yeah, I've heard EC3, and I'd like to see EC3 and Ambrose. I think would be good.
Yeah,
but to be honest though, it's a shame now that Rollins is going to be in the main event, because it would have been nice to see them two.
Yeah.
For Ambrose's last match.
Oof, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Be absolutely amazing if we could get that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like Seth Rollins for me is my favourite WrestleMania moment. Him and Randy Orton.
Oh.
You know what I'm going to say.
Out of nowhere.
Go on. Oh, yeah. Curb stomp out of nowhere.
No. Get a tendency, flick up, drop. Do you want an interesting tidbit?
Go on.
Randy Orton actually forgot to go straight for the cover, almost.
Yeah, he was probably so short. But then again, saying that, what's that? Who's the new lad in the chamber? Cruiserweight.
Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, hit that RKO.
Oh, good Lord.
On SmackDown, yeah. See, it's like, to be honest, you could do an actual podcast, a whole probably 2-hour special, just talking about some of his RKOs.
You could. And do you know what makes it so weird? He's doing this from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He's paying a bit of homage to somebody else at the same time. Did you know that?
Austin had a habit.
No.
Because of the thing.
Do you know who used to do something similar to it?
Well, there's a couple in there, because if we're going to be brutally honest, the RKO and the Stunner weren't that different.
They're not.
Are we talking John? Oh, no, hang on.
No. Do you know who originally invented the move? Who started
Not
it?
originally. But I know, what was his... The People Power. Johnny.
Yeah, John Laurinaitis. Johnny Ace.
Yeah.
He was the first one.
Ace Cutter.
Ace Crusher, he was originally called.
That was it.
And the funny thing about it is, with John Laurinaitis, and many people don't... Yeah, what's so weird about it is, he invented such an iconic move, but he didn't know how far it could go. Now, what's so interesting is, Randy Orton isn't the first person to state he could hit it from anywhere. Who was? Do you know who it was?
No.
Who stated it could be hit from anywhere?
No.
From WCW. DDP.
Yeah, DDP.
If you remember, he used to hit that diamond cutter from anywhere.
Well, DDP was a legend anyway.
Correct.
He never really got over in WWE, though, did he? He was...
To be honest with you, we can save that. I'll save that discussion for another show, possibly. But there's a possible reason for that is probably because how they brought him in. Whew.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes. If you remember.
Yeah. Probably the best way to start your career.
Not the best way to start your career, but we'll have more of that discussion. I'll have that discussion on another episode, definitely.
I've got to say, he looks in better shape though now, doesn't he?
Oh, damn right he is, especially with that DDP yoga.
Oh yeah, well look what he's done with that as well with Scott Hall. That was just, well, you know what I mean, that was like legendary.
Definitely. Well, not just for Scott Hall, for Jake the Snake as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one as well.
It's amazing what DDP yoga can do.
I have seen bits of it. I've seen bits of it done at APW and stuff like that. But yeah,
it works.
It's crazy. But Diamond Dallas Page, we salute you.
We do salute you. And that's not and that's not just a bad thing. That's a good thing.
Anyway, my friend, I'm going to wrap this up with you now.
Yeah, I believe that's a wrap up for this episode. Yeah, I agree with that, definitely. But, that is a good time to wrap it up. So what I'm just going to just mention right now is thank you very much for being on the show. I absolutely appreciate it. But for next week, when I've got John Below back, because I didn't state the reason, because one thing I did miss off of the topic is the reason why John is not on the episode. Unfortunately, the reason why he's not on is due to some unfortunate illness, which we wish him nothing but the best to be, hopefully have a speedy recovery, and he will most likely be back, back with us next week, potentially on The Burning Truth. So we'll hope,
get well soon, buddy.
Get well soon. We'll hopefully catch him next week. But with that, I can honestly say it, for next week's episode, I'm going to possibly bring up two topics. One of them is going to be most likely to do with WWE, the WWE Attitude Era. Was it as good as you really think? And potentially discussing about some arrivals in WWE that where elsewhere they have been successful elsewhere, but not as successful in the WWE. But that's for next week. And with that, I'm now just going to go running through the plugs. Just need to get a bit of air to get in my lungs to get through this, because this always gets longer and longer. Please check out UKWA, also known as UK Wrestling Alliance. Please check out UK Wrestling Media. We've got us both on here. Please check them out. I can honestly state myself, and this is not just because of Mark Shed being on here. They do fantastic work. Please check them out if you're interested in getting any photography and also any videography sorted as well. Please check them out. And of course, please check out Manchester Pro Wrestling Academy, because their beginner classes are on Monday, £10 per class, 7 p.m. till 9. If you want to know the location, please check out their social media, because all the details. Let me just state this as well. If you are following details on Facebook, please enter the postcode into your sat nav. Do not literally click on the link, because that can actually lead you to incorrect locations. Just stating that. And with that, we've also got shout-outs for JG Printing and Stitching. They do absolutely phenomenal work, as they were actually, I saw him last night, Jamie, if I'm not mistaken. He's in high spirits, isn't he?
Oh, yes.
Definitely.
Bless him. And I just want to say a big thank you to, obviously, Liam Pinches, Tommy and Gina last night for helping out with production and everything and backstage with me. Much appreciated, and I love all you guys.
Definitely. And of course, I would like to give a massive shout out to two organisations. One of them being Mind, and the other one being Changes for Health and Wellbeing. The information that they have on them websites can prove very useful, very helpful, and it could end up either helping yourself or someone that you might know. The information will prove very, very useful. And just to make one thing clear, with Changes UK, there is more than one Changes. So let me just state the website for you, which is www.changes.org.uk. And of course, please check out Team 4-Star. They do absolutely fantastic work on YouTube. Bands of like New Breed, Kamens. Of course, please check out Botchamania. We all know why. You're welcome, Matthew. And please check out some fellow YouTubers, people who are on YouTube, which is Phil DeFranco, When Fandom Strikes, who's also on TikTok, and please check out Luke Moto, who does who's been doing some vlogging lately, and please check out Turnbuckle TV, where where, if I'm not mistaken, they actually have some great wrestling on there.
Oh yes.
And they will be having an additional show on there, potentially, coming soon, from UKWA. That'd be very, very interesting, so please give that a check out.
See how it works. Check it out. It's a bit of a double plug, that one, mate, so I think we can plug that one a bit more. Yeah,
definitely.
Turnbuckle TV, coming soon. UKWA, 0 hour.
Definitely. It's got a nice little ring to it, doesn't it? And last but not least, please always check out your local wrestling shows. For example, United Wrestling, Academy Pro Wrestling, Future Championship Wrestling, Fusion Pro Wrestling for You, and many, many more. And of course, please check out the website, which is the Burning Truth website, which is www.theburningtruthuk.com, where, as I've stated, You can listen to us this way. You probably listen to us live, listen to past broadcasts, interviews, show reviews, merchandise, blog, contact page, links, which we've already mentioned. Some of the links that we've already mentioned are already on there. Please check out our social media like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and of course we are on Twitter, but our Twitter handle is a bit different, which I'll spell it out for you, which is WRESLING4THWALL. And of course we are also on Spotify as well. I can now breathe.
Breathe.
I can now breathe. And with that, please, this is now a wrap up for this week's episode. Thanks for being on the episode, Shed. I appreciate this. And of course,
No problem, brother.
Please, as always check out your local wrestling. And until then, stay well, stay safe, and I'll catch you next week on The Burning Truth.